Hello everyone and welcome to this week's episode of the Studs Up podcast. I am Garfield. I'm joined as always by Simon Says. If you'd like to find us, by the way, you can always go to our Facebook. It's just Studs Up. You just type it in, it'll come up every time. Or you can go to our Facebook page, studsup-football.com. We've also now got an iTunes page, which is very exciting. It's just Studs Up Podcast. Just type it in, it'll come straight up. So now you can listen to us on iTunes, which is really cool. On today's podcast, we're going to be going through the round that was in the English Premier League. We're going to go through our tips, as we always do every week. So without further ado, Simon Says, let's begin. Come on, give everyone the news.
Yeah, look, it was a brutal round for us, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, for us personally.
Yeah, personally.
It was
so I've come to this realization, a stunning realization, if you will.
Stun me.
I was stunned.
Okay.
Every time I have a good tipping round, Liverpool doesn't do well.
Okay, I hope that you...
In reality. But when I have a bad tipping round, Liverpool
really
wins.
well.
And I've only had two good tipping rounds, literally the two losses that we've had.
I'm hoping that you keep tipping well.
So something has actually gone awry here. So I don't know how to describe this. I don't know why. I'm disappointed. I can
tell.
But look, I'm happy that at least you owe me dinner, so that's good.
That is true.
That works for me.
You pumped me this week.
I did. You
7-5.
Yeah, you got pretty knackered, didn't
Anyway,
you?
we should really start on the game of the round, since we both got it wrong, to be fair.
Yes, let's start with where we all went wrong.
Yeah, but it was a great game. So let's start with Manchester City versus Chelsea.
Yes, let's start there.
What a game.
1-3. I mean, look, I watched the match, and I got to say, whilst, I don't know if you recall last week's podcast, listeners, but we were both basically saying that despite our tips, we could easily have both gone for a Chelsea win. And I have to say, I wasn't surprised by the outcome. I was surprised at the manner and how it turned out. And of course, literally the way it ended was just farcical.
Oh, yeah. We'll get to that in a moment.
We will get to that. But I'll tell you what I'm surprised about.
Okay.
I genuinely felt that if Chelsea came up against somebody that would put so much pressure on them as City did, I really thought that defense would crumble.
Would crack, yeah.
And I don't want to use the word luck because I hate that word because luck goes kind of both ways and you make your own luck and whatever else.
Jose Mourinho line.
But
luck.
if that De Bruyne goal went in rather than hit the bar, I think we would have been having a very different conversation right now.
And it should have gone in. He was about 2 yards out.
He was 2 yards out and it hit the crossbar.
Yeah, open
How?
goal.
I mean, that was, Hoosie Styles.
Yeah.
That's going to make no sense to anybody, barring a select few.
Yeah, there's like 3 people that know that joke. Hello.
Yeah.
It
Kings.
was, yeah.
But genuinely, I think that it turned on that point, and it just seems so ridiculous to say that because a game is so much more than,
of course,
one moment. But why can't it be one moment? When somebody scores an incredible goal, like we'll talk about in some other games, and we all want to say, because when it's a winning goal, oh, it turned the match on that moment. That was brilliant, whatever. When it's the reverse and it's a stark miss, I think that can turn a game.
It can, yeah.
Because it kind of had Chelsea feeling as though they were still in the match at that point, even though it was a horrendous own goal by Cahill.
Yeah, terrible. They attacked his side brilliantly.
They did.
They attacked.
I think they did the whole match though.
Yeah, no, they did.
They just didn't get the goals.
The stat I think was 53% of their attacks came down that side of the field.
So there you go.
That's insanity, right?
There you go. They had him all ends.
I was also really fascinated by Pep's. He kind of changed his whole tactics to mirror, well, not quite mirror, but basically take on Chelsea with a three-man at the back.
I think he realised or he knew that the standard method wasn't going to work exactly like this. I don't think it was going to work perfectly. And whilst he will never change his philosophy against your Bournemouths, your Burnleys, your whatever, I think against Chelsea specifically, given their good run, I'm not surprised.
Well, what did surprise me about him leaving a back three there is how open it left, because obviously Chelsea play with 3 pure attackers, basically.
Yep, correct.
And it left them one-on-one. And that's where City got punished, on those one-on-ones on the break. I mean, Costa had an amazing game. His hold-up play...
His strength.
Yeah, his hold-up play is unbelievable. His link play now...
The goal was great.
Oh, unbelievable. That is now 11 goals and 5 assists this season, which ranks him number 1 in all the top 5 European leagues.
And I'm not surprised.
Amazing.
And it doesn't look like stopping. It doesn't look like one of those little rich veins of form where a striker has had some fortuitous goals. And,
no, he's been on fire.
Yeah, he reminds me, and forgive me for making a huge comparison here. I'm going to say Didier Drogba.
Yeah, because I can see it as well. He's
because it's so obviously like
that role. Yeah.
Yeah. I like this version of Costa.
Yeah.
So I know he had an equally prolific season when they won the title.
Yeah, he was great.
And this is the exact same sort of start that he had.
Yeah.
But I have to say, those were very different goals. You know, some tap-ins, some poacherish sort of goals, whatever.
No, this
feels like he doesn't almost need the assistance. It's like he can create goals now out of nothing. Yeah. And this is the Drogba element that I'm sort of talking about. I'm glad you said that.
I
was nervous about bringing that up.
No, I'm in agreement with you. His ability to put Otamendi in his pocket and just keep him there all game, turn him on a whim, he had him in.
And not even like his main pocket, like some shitty cargo pants side pocket.
Yeah.
You know, no respect for him. Just see you later, buddy.
Bye-bye, buddy.
Otamendi got really shown up there.
He did.
He got shown up.
City's defense is a real problem.
They're a write-off.
Against
Stones had no chance.
No.
How many times did he hold off Stones with practically his pinky?
I know.
Like not even the Costa way, not even the Costa way where he manhandles someone. It was almost just
like a force field, and just like
he was incredible. He was incredible, and Chelsea fully deserved that win. Yeah. As dominant as City felt in attack sometimes, and my comment was during the match, to nobody, to myself really, because I do that sometimes, was genuinely that both teams looked like they could score at any moment, all the time. But the difference was, I just felt that Chelsea had this belief in them that just seems so much more patently obvious. Yeah. That even though they went a goal down, they just didn't seem to change them at all. Conte has done something to this side that. Well, I guess what was different was Chelsea were there to be shot at last season, and the difference was that they had no shield, and they got shot and they got wounded, and that's why their season capitulated. Yeah. Whereas this season, it feels as though they get shot, but they dust it off. Yeah, it's pretty incredible, and I think that 3-1 makes a lot of sense. I won't step away from my tip. I know why I tipped 2-1 to City at home, but 3-1 to Chelsea made a lot of sense. Yeah, no, it was a great game. I mean, Willian off the bench. His goal. How fast is he? He's very quick. But I mean, in lightning. Any other decent keeper worth half his salt, any other keeper for the top 8 teams in the league would have at least had a good chance as we high-fived. We high-fived that one because, Bravo and Karius are one in the same. And we'll get to Karius. We're not going to talk about that right now, but I see the same issues in both those keepers. Yeah. Very good footwork. Not so good on the whole. And I don't give a... Why don't we have a beep in this? We need a bleep. We need just a bleep. Even if I say something that isn't rude, just bleep some stuff out. Yeah, I'll just bleep. Just makes it sound like I'm saying, what a wonderfully beep play out. And like, what did he say? I wonder what he said. That's very coarse. Could be awkward. I'll Google that. Yeah. Bravo was dreadful. I mean, his name should be removed from him because I don't want to say Bravo anytime Claudio I think of his... Yeah. Claudio Boo. Just boo. Just boo. Because, seriously, get a haircut. No, awful. Terrible. But we should actually, before we move on, 2 things before we move on. The Fabregas assist to Costa. Yes. Everyone was very worried when they saw Fabregas in the team because Matic was out injured. So was I. I'd say the same thing. Oh, yeah. They are about to get overrun in midfield. That's not the player that you want against City. You want a hard worker. You want a grafter. But who turned the game? I'm nodding so much. I wish you could see that. It's just 100%. Fabregas' 60-yard ball to Costa's chest was just sumptuous. But his control of that. Oh, yeah. We've discussed Costa just being a god at the moment. His vein of form is just amazing. The best centre forward in the world. Right now. I agree. With the possible exception of Lewandowski, but that's just me. I still think Costa's got him at the moment. I think at the moment, but Lewandowski just because of the condition of this league versus where Lewandowski, in Germany, it's not the same. Yeah, I agree. And the other thing that we should talk about before we move on is the end of that game. Yeah, no, you can't kind of go past that game without seeing what happened. Do you think David Luiz should have been sent off? Do you think he should have been sent off early for his professional foul? Yes. Yeah? Okay. Firstly, number one, 100% I agree with that. Yep. I didn't even hesitate. I was kind of... I get a little bit excited. I cheer him getting, close to a red card or making a mistake like I cheer a goal. Yeah, I know. So, because he's such an idiot. He's just such an idiot. He's such a buffoon. I just don't rate him. But I mean, he had, with that exception, he had a pretty decent game. He's had a series of good games, and I don't want to say that. No, it's scary, isn't it? But I think firstly he should have been sent off. Yeah. But
And
what
that
was
added to the frustration that's then...
But that was a fracas.
yeah,
that
was
really
a
got out of
proper-
hand.
That was like State of Origin rugby league level.
That got out of
like
hand.
everyone on the field.
And am I just... Tell me where I'm wrong here, but I don't think I've ever seen these two clubs go at it
Not
like
the-
that.
not
I mean,
these
I've seen
two.
this with Everton and Liverpool. I've seen it with Liverpool and United.
Yeah, yeah.
United and
Arsenal.
pretty much everyone.
Yeah.
Because, you guys are bastards.
Definitely United Arsenal.
No,
There's
I
been
don't.
some
Yeah,
fire
definitely,
ones in there.
definitely United Arsenal. So I've seen these, but I don't think I've seen City and Chelsea go at it like this.
I was talking to a Chelsea fan actually, and he brought up with me, and to be honest, I couldn't remember.
real
it.
Chelsea
So,
fan?
A real Chelsea fan.
Okay, so pre-2005 fan?
He's pretty young, so maybe not. He's only
Okay.
like 24, so I can't really judge it.
So he watches football.
He watches. Well, Chelsea's his team. He was saying that.
Sorry to Garfield's mate, by the way.
Hi, buddy. He was saying that I think it was a League Cup game, Aguero stamped on David
He did.
Luiz, and they have.
There's a photo that
Okay.
came up. I saw it.
There you go. So
Yeah.
they have passed.
They have
there,
history. And I don't understand. Okay, I'm going to say it's because Argentina versus Brazil.
possibly.
But what I say in retort is, it's David Luiz, man. Let it go. It doesn't matter how
Yeah, it
much.
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter what he does or says to you. Be like, you're David Luiz.
Yeah.
You suck.
Just run at him. He's
I'm
gonna
Sergio
fall over.
Aguero.
Yeah, like, dude. Yeah, just run at him. He'll eventually screw up and he'll get goals. Why
So-
would you antagonize?
Basically, what you've said there is correct, though. Aguero's got form
Yeah.
for the aggression
Yeah.
part. Seemingly, this guy gets under his skin, though, because
he does.
I don't think he kung fu'd he
I
kung
know.
fu'd him.
It was brutal.
He kung fu'd
It
him. It
wasn't
reminded
quite
me.
Eric Cantona, but
no,
it was getting there.
no, it wasn't Cantona and it wasn't De Jong
It
on
was definitely a
Alonso.
bit of- it was a Roy Keane special.
Yeah,
is what it was.
yeah, it was really awful, but he meant it.
I know he genuinely meant
You
it.
see in the replay.
Yeah, he
oh
meant
my goodness, he knew
Yeah.
exactly what he was doing.
Yeah. And interesting to note, I think that Aguero has to join the school of bastards. That's his second red card of the season.
He may very well
He's trying to graduate.
be in the nomination.
Yeah,
He's an undergrad.
but he's coming out with flying colours right now.
What I'm going to say though is when Fernandinho, I want to go into bat for Fernandinho here.
Okay.
We didn't quite see it.
A little slap from Fabregas.
I saw Fabregas lift his arm.
Yeah.
I also saw him then say something.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say anything broad, and I don't want to paint everybody with the same brush, but the Spaniards have a bit of a history with racism.
They do.
Especially in Spain, and even the Spaniards in the Premier League have had their issues. I want to know.
Spaniards
I
and
want to
John
know what he
Terry.
said to him, because it wasn't just the slap that made him angry. It's after he followed it up with something.
Yeah.
He said something, and it wasn't far enough around for me to read his lips.
Yeah.
So I want to know what it is that Fabregas said to him, because he lost it at that point. He saw
did,
red.
He lost it. Yeah.
And it wasn't just a little bit of a, hey, get away from my mates,
No, it
or I'm
was,
just going
I'm
to
gonna
join in.
murder you.
I'm actually going to.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
going to
gonna
murder
physically
you.
harm
I've
you.
brought a shank. I'll go
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah, I'll be back in 3 minutes. You
And
stay
Fabregas
here.
had this cheeky face on him after he got grabbed by the neck.
He just did this. Oh, I'm going to walk away.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to walk away
wasn't
because
me.
it wasn't me. I want to know what was said. I actually have a sneaking suspicion he said something, and we haven't heard the last of this yet.
Well, he is, of course, the famous man from Pizzagate. So
Correct.
he is at least. He's
been
always
there.
been a nefarious little bastard.
Yep.
You know, he's also from the school
Which is
of
why he's playing
bastardry.
for the right team.
Yeah. Yes, he is.
He is.
Yep.
So I get this sneaking suspicion that something came of that. And I think Fernandinho is not going to take that lying down.
He'll still get a whopping suspension.
For sure he will.
Yeah.
Well, what have they said? He's missing every game to New Year's, basically.
Yeah, well, definitely Aguero's missing 4, so every
Yeah.
game till New Year's.
Which is nuts.
Fernandinho might join him on
If you
that.
think about it, Suarez got 6 for biting Evra.
Yeah.
So only he got 4 for this.
Well,
that's a lot.
A, the Aguero tackle was horrible.
I
but
thought it,
B,
I still thought it'd be 3 matches.
But it's only 4 because it's his second red of the season.
Yeah,
so
okay.
they add a
Fair call.
game for it.
Fair call.
So, yeah, so that's why. I think Fernandinho will probably get 3. If I had to wager.
I still think though. I reckon, depending on what was said, I think he may even get less. I think he may
Okay.
get 2 because if they can find evidence on Fabregas,
Well, then Fabregas will get suspended as well, and that's a different story.
Yeah.
But anyway, do you think that it shows up a soft underbelly
Absolutely.
for this City team?
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Are they
This is
up for the fight? Are they
This
up
is
for
the
the title
first
fight?
time that they were okay. So yes, they've lost another match before, fine,
Yeah.
and the game against Everton was a bit of a shock, whatever. But this is the first time. All those they brushed them off because they feel as though we're going to play you a second time and we're going to hammer you. They have
Yeah.
this belief. I think Chelsea scare them a bit.
Yeah.
I think they see
Oh,
Chelsea as their
definitely.
main rival for the league title, and they're correct. They're correct because it's not Liverpool, and it could be Arsenal. It
could be.
but I think they probably fancy themselves against Arsenal more than they do against
Of
Chelsea.
course they do. I mean, yeah.
For obvious reasons.
For obvious reasons.
Exactly.
Well, historically, if nothing else.
Absolutely. So I get the impression that this meant a lot to City, being at home and getting trounced like that, because from gameplay, Chelsea won this fair and square.
They did, yeah.
They put their chances away. I don't care how much
and I will
City
say,
dominated chances. You can have that argument if you want.
I'll go back to
Not
this
interested.
as well. You know what? As well, City were out to foul Chelsea a lot. I mean, that was back to the proper Pep Dark Arts Barcelona.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's get
These
our
sneaky
foul
little
on.
fouls.
Sneaky little fouls everywhere that helped, rile up the crowd, riled up the game. For them to still lose after using every trick in their book.
And playing really well.
And still playing very well. And they could have.
And they lost 3-1.
And they could have won, and they lost 3-1.
Yeah. I don't know. That was a shock to me that still happened. But I think that showed as much about Chelsea as it did about City.
Yeah.
But can I just say, I
Chelsea
could see this happening to City again. I could see
absolutely.
someone like Liverpool frustrating the hell out of them, and this happening. I could see it happening again. I could see Arsenal doing this to them. So, look, to answer your question, yes. I think it exposed a soft underbelly in them, but it also exposed a stomach made of leather for Chelsea.
Yeah,
I was very impressed with their comeback.
Yeah, they have a
because if there's a
titanium
team, if there's a team that they would be excused for not coming back this strongly against, it would be this specific City side.
Yeah, I agree. And they have now proved themselves to be possibly the most adept in England and one of the better teams in Europe. I know they're not playing in the European leagues, but I watch them and think there's not that many teams on the continent that could go against that Chelsea team at the moment.
I don't know who could. I
They're
just
that
don't know.
good.
Yeah. I think that someone like a Tottenham or a Liverpool can do it, just because the style of play is different to the rest of the teams in the league, and it's really going to depend. It could go one way or the other.
Yeah.
But overall,
But they're always going to be in the fight.
I
and you
literally
can't say
cannot
that
disagree
about
with
a lot
you.
of teams.
Yeah. And Liverpool's is soft as baby food, so I'm not going to suggest that they could do what City couldn't.
Yeah.
So well done.
Not with
Chelsea
that defense.
deserve their lead, and I think
And
they
they
move
deserve to be top of the table.
and they deserve to get the favoritism for the title.
Yep, 3 points ahead of the rest at the moment. We should move on to another game. This one you actually got right. Crystal Palace 3, Southampton 0.
Yeah, and you got wrong.
I was wrong. I tipped 2-1
Southampton. Yeah.
And at the time I said I really hope that Palace win because I want Chunky Pardew to have a
Although, did you hear his
resurgence.
comments afterwards?
Oh, he's such an idiot.
God, he hammed it up. What a ham.
He's such an idiot.
He's such a ham.
He is. He's always been the king. But did you hear his comments?
And because it's Christmas time, he's a Christmas ham.
He's a Christmas ham.
Yeah.
His comments about the owners, though, not knowing anything about football, just because he lost 6 in a row, was a bit on the nose.
I just don't know what he's thinking sometimes.
He's a strange cat.
Okay, you won 3-0 against Southampton. P.S. That was the poorest display from Southampton this season.
Easily all season.
They were awful.
Since the close of the transfer window in particular, that was their worst performance. They
Easy.
clearly had their eye on Thursday's European game.
Absolutely.
Fair enough.
Absolutely. But I just was so shocked at how bad they were. So Palace's 3-0, it's a little bit soft.
By the way, also just helped by Fraser Foster
Oh my gosh.
playing the best game of, let's be Massimo Taibi I've ever seen in my life.
Really awful. I don't know what he was
Two
thinking.
huge, calamitous mistakes to lead to goals.
I mean, we should call him Wolf because those were some howlers.
They were some howlers. That first miss kick.
What even was that? That was comical.
We didn't do that when we were playing under 16.
And I'm a
football.
retard.
Yeah, and we were terrible.
Yeah, I was just inept. So
and we wouldn't even pull that stunt.
That was incredible. That's the sort of thing
you won't see that from a top class keeper.
Do you remember Engelman? For Villa?
Yeah.
He did the same thing.
He did
the same thing.
But Engelman kicked it into his own net.
Yes,
if I agree.
Yeah, he did it. So
I remember
his right foot tweaked it,
Yeah.
and it rolled into his net. So the difference was he was a bit further out, Foster, but it was the same kick.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. But I mean that clearly cost them the game. Gave Crystal Palace enough confidence.
2
to go
goals for
through and win
Benteke.
it. Benteke.
He needed them. They were
did.
weak as hell goals.
Yep.
He was celebrating
They
them
were
like he was some
gimmies.
kind of master.
I know,
but
yeah, they
anyway,
were gimmies.
Tompkins, another goal.
Yep. Good for
Their
him.
goal-scoring defenders continue their run.
Yeah. They're all over the league at the moment.
I like that 3-0 for Palace. I think they really needed
They
that.
really needed it. We were talking last week about if they can't pick up maybe 5 points from their next 5 games.
And this was one I didn't know they were going to get.
Well, this is one they needed. Yeah.
I tipped them, but
Yeah.
P.S. I was looking at your tips secretly envious.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Were you?
Secretly
I
envious.
was looking at your tip a bit like, oh, I wish I'd got them now.
Yeah, so I feel good now.
Yeah, of course you do.
I feel great now.
I would have felt very smug if Southampton got up.
But
So,
speaking
like,
of
I see what
smug,
you mean.
WBA Watford.
Yeah.
Poolist.
You're right,
You
they
even
got poolist.
texted me.
Yeah,
you even
poolist.
texted me going, poolist.
Pullist. They got proper pullist.
Because they did get proper poolist, didn't they?
And they played, West Brom played really well.
Really good game.
But it was a proper poolisting. It was like free kicks, corners.
Well, that last goal from Phillips, though.
Oh, yeah, Phillips is on fire.
Mate, you watch that kid.
Oh, like,
How good is he?
as I think I was telling you.
You called it early
Yeah.
again.
And a few weeks ago,
You should quit this podcast and become a scout.
he's pretty good, that kid.
It's not bad. You got some talent.
Yeah, I got a little bit in there.
Maybe your only talent.
It definitely would be up there with my only talents.
Yeah, because, I mean, you do this
that and
poorly.
growing hair. That's
Yeah.
my-
Oh, your facial hair is longer than... Like, I've got no hair, so... it's pretty impressive.
It is. It's not bad. The stat for Phillips, which just amazes me, is I think it's now 4 times this season. Apologies if I get that stat slightly off. That he's got both a goal and an assist in the same game.
That's rare.
That's insane.
That's rare.
That is a rare gem of a talent right there. He's only 23. I mean, the kid could really
When you
become
consider
something.
the people he's up against, like your Coutinhos, your Firminos, your Martials,
Yeah.
your
Your Pogbas,
Rashfords, your
your anyone,
Pogbas,
yeah.
all these people that could
Your De
theoretically do
Bruyne.
your De Bruynes, your
Yeah.
Agueros, these sorts of guys who do that sort of thing all the time, your Silvers.
Yeah.
There's so many people out there that can do precisely that.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's very impressive.
It is. It's impressive.
Good old little Phillips.
The other insanely impressive thing is he's now put Chadley on the bench. He's managed to Chadley
who was
moved,
playing excellent.
and he was in great form. But Chadley moved for
Club
WBA.
record
yeah,
for
club
WBA.
record signing for WBA. Moved there to get game time from Tottenham, where he was always benched. Rocks up to a new club.
He's dominating the Hawthorns.
Somehow finds
Now
himself
Phillips
back on the
is
bench.
dominating the
Yeah,
Hawthorns.
He is. He's doing really well. And Rondon's just a great
Yeah.
hold player.
He really is.
Also, I know that we've brought up Drogba before, but has a touch of the Drogbas about him.
Definitely does. Definitely does.
Has also a touch of the, not quite in the goal scoring range, but a touch of the Lukaku's just in the way that he plays.
Lukaku!
No, very impressive result for WBA.
And
I
that
think
leaves
they're
WBA in 7th.
7th now. Wow.
They actually leapfrogged Everton with that victory.
They're only 1 point off United, aren't they?
They are.
That is
and playing better.
Yeah,
than
and
United.
playing better. That is so scary. That is so scary. You know, they have the least amount of possession statistically in the league, but have more goals than United. That is scary. That's West
right.
Bromwich Albion.
Oh, goodness
That's
me.
WBA. That is a scary... that look you're giving me is not good. That is a scary statistic.
That's really awful.
Isn't that appalling? Isn't that appalling?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Just to put the Manchester United season in
So
perspective.
how do you now feel about being a Liverpool fan? Because this is what we go through every year.
Yeah, this is pretty terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening.
How does it feel?
It's going against the natural order of things, and I'm not coping well.
Not coping?
No, I'm not coping well.
Didn't think
We
so.
will get to that game, but I'm not coping
Yeah.
well at the moment. All right, let's
Speaking
move
of
on.
teams that aren't United and doing better than United,
Much better.
Tottenham Hotspur.
Oh, they had
Right
a
royal
blinder.
spanking.
A right royal
Right
spanking.
royal spanking.
They ran into the right
Can I
team
be
at
honest
the
with
right
you?
time.
Yeah, I don't know what we can take from this game. I walked away from that not overly impressed with Tottenham, not overly anything. I was just apathetic. I just
Yeah.
felt as though Swansea, again, another insipid performance, which
Yeah.
really upset me after that inspired performance.
5-4, yeah.
5-4, that performance last week, I mean, they basically ripped off Palace,
Yeah.
only to then waste that initiative
Yeah.
against, admittedly, a brilliant Tottenham side.
Yeah.
But 5-0? I know I called 3-0, and that was pretty close.
Yeah.
You called a tighter game at 2-1, and
I honestly thought Swansea would at least put up a fight.
and this was just awful.
Yeah, that was one of the... Again, I've said this, I think, twice
Every
now in a
week,
month.
yeah.
Twice in a month. That's one of the worst displays of a Premier League team I've seen.
It's like they gave up.
Oh, they did.
They were
totally gave
whinging
up.
so hard about that first penalty, which,
Yeah.
by the way, straight up penalty. Let
Yeah.
it go.
Yeah.
And they just crumbled. They capitulated. Eriksson had a good game, but
Yeah.
Son's goal was really good.
Oh, that was amazing.
Really good
What
goal.
would you call that?
Yeah, I don't know.
It was like a
half
behind
scissor.
him half scissor.
Yeah.
A half scissor volley.
It'd be a bicycle if he was
Yeah.
fully
But he
upside
wasn't,
down, but
yeah.
he wasn't.
It was like almost
Like
like
a
an inverted
reverse-
an inverted bicycle.
Okay.
A right
I'll
angle
go with that.
bicycle? I
I'll
don't
go
know.
with that.
Yeah.
Obtuse
An
bicycle.
obtuse bicycle
obtuse-
kick.
An OB.
Yes, the OB.
The
I want to see more OB goals.
Oh God, we came up with something.
Goals.
This may be the one and only time.
Yeah, that's going to be it.
The OB. So his OB was fantastic.
I love that.
His obtuse bicycle.
The obtuse bicycle. I love it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we've got to coin that one.
Yeah, we
that's
should.
That's going straight on our
trademark.
Yeah, patent pending. Straight on the Facebook page. We're going to use that. That's brilliant.
So that was probably my highlight of the match. The other highlight was the final whistle because God Almighty, they were so awful. Not much I can say. I don't think I learnt anything about Tottenham. That was their best. That was their biggest victory since 2015.
Yeah,
the first half of 2015, even.
Yeah, no, it was a good performance, but against a really crappy team. But we shouldn't judge Swansea on this game. I know we're going to talk about next week's games, but next week they've got Sunderland. Yeah. And that's when we'll know if they're here to stay or they're going straight.
I'm glad you brought up Sunderland.
Yes.
I'm glad you brought up Sunderland.
Here we go. All right, come on. Tell everyone what you did. Nothing in this game. No tip right.
Doesn't matter.
I'm so glad they won.
Oh, bull.
I'm so glad they won.
Tipped Leicester, and you were happy, you were grinning, you were like, I will put petrol on a flag of Sunderland, and I will light it and I will dance around it with a Fox's flag, even though you're not even a Leicester fan. Is there
an effigy of Moyes?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
The whole team... You got a voodoo doll so you could hurt every member of the Sunderland faithful. It's just ridiculous. I mean, you were... Well, now, how do you feel that they are bathing in your blood?
I'm very happy for them.
No, seriously. Jokes aside, they deserve that game.
Did. That was a good win.
They deserve that game. And I can't believe I'm saying that about Sunderland.
No, it's good.
They look reborn.
They do.
They looked different against Liverpool, I have to say.
Yep.
Yes, they got put away.
Yeah.
But I have to say,
this is finally
they've turned a corner.
This is finally Moyes shining through. Organise.
But for the whole game.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know what? It was always going to take him a little while. He's got, let's be honest here, a couple of substandard players in that squad.
Even Sunderland fans would admit that.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? He's making the most of it. He's finally found a way to play Defoe well, and that's with Anichebe. And that's, you know what? That's inspired. If you told me at the start of the season that you were going to partner Anichebe with Defoe, I would have literally laughed in your face and said, welcome to relegation, enjoy the championship.
Absolutely.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, because Defoe's 13 goals will be completely nullified by Anichebe's zero
goals, yeah.
So
I think he's already got 2 this
Exactly.
season.
So, I mean, my tip went out the window with him.
Yeah.
I was with you on that one. I felt that Anichebe would actually contribute the grand sum total of F.
Well, there goes my scouting career, but...
Yeah. Yeah, true. It just started.
It's a fickle beast, this football industry, isn't it?
It really is. You know, that puts Sunderland in 18th on 11.
Yeah, good for
them.
And
they're only 2 points off Leicester in 16th.
I know. That is scary. Leicester haven't won an away game this season.
7 losses already, only 3 victories.
Yeah.
So tell me, what do you see happening from now?
For Leicester or for...
Leicester.
Okay, for Leicester. I see Jamie...
We have to address it because you're talking about the... reigning champions.
The reigning champions.
Let me say that again. Reigning champions.
Scary. It was surreal last season.
I mean, if it was boxing,
if
it was boxing, they'd be introduced like reigning champions, Leicester City. Yeah, and they just got knocked out.
Yeah, they've been smashed
out. Yeah,
they've been smashed.
Can we bleep this so it makes it sound like I said the word?
Sure. I mean, Vardy's going to get dropped. I think he's got to be. He doesn't even look Premier League class at the moment. He's
ineffectual completely.
Yeah. Mahrez is hot and cold, to put it mildly.
He's hot in the Champions League.
He is very hot in the Champions League.
Trying to sell himself.
Bit cold in the league.
Man, he's the Arctic in the league.
He is. What can you say about that Leicester team at the moment? I mean, Ranieri knows. He's come out publicly now and said,
there's a problem.
I'm worried. There's a big problem here. You know he's going to go back to Tinkerman. You know he's going to start changing.
He's got no choice now. But, so he almost couldn't tinker because he would have been castigated by the entire world for changing a side that was
you
winning.
won the league and all of a sudden
you want to tinker.
You've dropped all these players that got you a league championship for Leicester.
Correct.
But now he can. Now we're at the point where he can really start dropping players.
And we've done 14 games now.
We're over a third of the way through.
That's a lot. Yeah. That is a lot. You are at the time where
if you're ever going to chop and change,
you're going to do a Mourinho substitution on 30 minutes. That's what you're going to do.
Yeah, that's the time.
It's time. It is now time because if they don't do something to arrest this slide,
and it's got to be slightly drastic.
I'm not going to lie to you. They could end the league exactly where they are now.
Well, even worse.
I just don't see Hull City.
Well, at this stage, Hull and Swansea are down.
They're down. I
So
also
that leaves
don't
you
think
one spot.
Sunderland's got it in them to overcome West Ham and Leicester. I just don't think they've got it in them. Because Leicester will get knocked out of the Champions League at some point.
Yeah.
They're not winning the Champions League. I'm sorry. I'm willing to call that from now.
How amazing would it be if they got relegated and won the Champions League?
Would that have ever happened? I wonder. Probably not.
I very much doubt it.
Yeah.
Not that I can think of in my time.
The closest, I think, was Liverpool, who won the Champions League and came like 7th.
Sixth or
Or
something,
6th or
yeah.
something, yeah. Which was still bad, but...
Yeah, I'm just trying to...
I just can't see them overcoming both. Having said that, though, I look above them and there's no one else who looks bad. I mean, Palace is a candidate.
Yeah, possibly. But I mean, they are one of those teams, if they get a run of form on, then...
They'll win 11 games.
Yeah,
and you're
then they'll be up to,
well.
10th and just be like, oh yeah, that seems about right for
and
them.
you think, well, okay then.
Yeah, you go, yeah.
No, I'm
mid-table.
with you. But I can't see West Brom from here capitulating. They've got 20
they
points.
won't go down.
I can't see Stoke capitulating
No, they
now. They've
won't
got
go down.
19, and they're playing really well.
Yeah,
we'll
they
talk
are.
about that. Bournemouth, 18 points. Watford, 18 points. Southampton, 17. Borough, 15.
Borough might get sucked
Borough
back into the mix.
but they're playing well.
They are. They are.
Mind you, a couple of injuries, though. They've got a Finnish squad.
Yeah.
But anyway, so where do you see Sunderland then?
Sunderland, I'm hoping it's only up from here for Sunderland. I mean, again, next week's
But instead of
game-
who? You say you're hoping. Instead of who?
Well, I think...
I want to see a high-profile team go down. I would actually love for Leicester and West Ham to go down and Hull and Swansea... Sorry, Hull and Sunderland to stay up.
two teams that have gone down as recently as in the last 10 years. So, I mean, it's not unprecedented.
I know. But I would love to see it happen. Just from a... Wow, this league is insane perspective.
Yeah, I
It
get
could
that.
happen to anybody.
Well, remember the last time West Ham were relegated? I think they finished that season with 42 points.
Yeah.
Which is, if you finish 42 points nowadays, that gets you to 12th.
Yeah,
You know?
the fabled 12th
The
position.
fabled 12th position I love. I love so much.
That you love. Currently, Southampton occupies that spot.
That's about right.
It's about right for everyone.
Pretty much. Except
It could even be a
Swansea and Hull.
non-league team. You're like, they'll finish 12th in the Premier
They'll be
League.
fine. They'll be all right.
How?
12th,
They're not
yeah.
in the Premier League.
Yeah. Plymouth
12th.
Argyle, 12th.
12th.
Yeah, they're there.
Brighton Hove?
Oh, 12th.
12th.
Oh, you sell my soul for
an
12.
easy
That'd be
12th.
amazing. No,
So you're
I
saying...
I can see Sunderland on the up. I'm not necessarily sure they can avoid relegation, but I will say this: if they keep going the way they're going, the purse strings will loosen. They'll be able to buy, and then they might.
They'll buy Sacco.
They might. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's up for sale. It'd be a good purchase for them, and that could get them out of trouble. I think Moyes has a good enough track record in the market. Again, he publicly on record.
Sacco,
Ellis Short-
Sturridge, Delafelu.
Oh, please. Lovely.
Done.
Oh, and Fabian Delph.
And
Just for
and
good
Delph. And Delph. Oh,
Just for good
wow.
measure. All of a sudden,
Mind you, what would that cost them? Like, be serious now.
That's like 30 mil easy.
It's more than that. I reckon Sacco is going to be, 17.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It'll be loan to buy at the end of the season.
Okay, so loan to buy, fine.
Probably at 12.
Sturridge loan to buy?
Loan to buy. But if they do loan to buy him, that'll be at like 25.
I reckon it'd be more than that. I reckon it'd be like 30, easy.
Then they won't.
Sturridge.
Then they won't buy.
Or maybe just loan.
Yeah, then just loan till end of season. Put
So
him
he
in
can
the
get
shop
some
window
games,
and-
yeah.
Yeah. Fabian Delph, probably 8 to 10.
8 to 10, yeah.
You're looking all right there. I mean,
Yeah, so maybe this is doable for them.
yeah. I mean, he'll go to France. He'll go to the championship. He'll buy a couple of players, I think.
And he could do
It's
well.
possible. With
do
his
well.
track record,
Will he go to Real Sociedad, pick up some gems from his time there?
He could. You know what? I can honestly profess I know very little about the Real Sociedad squad, so I can't give you a recommendation on a player, but he might. He just might. Anyway, all right, let's move on.
We have a lot of fun here.
Let's move on to the next
This
game.
is so good.
How about Stoke versus Burnley?
Burnley.
Oh,
Burnley?
I got that one right.
Stoke vs Burnley.
So
Yeah,
the
you
score
did.
was 2-0 to Stoke. They played really well. Really well, I thought.
Stoke looks great.
They do at the moment, don't they?
Stoke looks great.
Yeah.
They look great.
Their defence is back.
They're not
in where it
Scottish. What
should
the hell am I
be.
doing that
I
for?
don't know. Their defence is
Stoke looks great, you know. They look very great.
Oi.
It's like the 2-0 victory is very deserved, you know.
It's not bad.
It's not bad, is it?
It's not bad at all.
Scottish, write in. Tell us, was that any good?
Yeah.
I'll keep doing it.
Right in. Oh, don't do it too much.
No, I won't do it.
No, they looked really good.
Different Stoke. So the Stoke I'm seeing now is the Stoke that I predicted at the start of the
Yeah,
season.
that we both did.
Makes me wonder if they did play like that from the beginning, where would they be? I mean, they're already in
Above
ninth.
12th.
Well, they are above 12th.
I know, they're doing really well.
So they're in ninth now. I mean, dark horse for 6th or 7th?
No, they have a squad. Their squad is strong enough for 6th.
It really is.
You look at that with Arnautovic, with Shaqiri.
Boney when he actually plays.
Yeah, well,
Shaqiri.
He's benched. Like, Joe Allen.
Who was
their form player, is benched. Mark Hughes has finally found the formula and gone, right, you know what? No matter what, I'm sticking with this. I'm running with the wins.
And it's worked.
And it's good for him.
And it's worked.
He's always been a good manager. Good for him. He's worked it out.
He deserved it, and I think it's really hard to drop big players like that when,
Oh, hell yeah.
you know, things are going well.
He's one of their big signings, as is Wilfred Boney, and he just went, nope, to both of you.
Yeah, because you're both playing awful.
Yeah, you're both in, no, Joe Allen's in really good form. But
Joe Allen played well, it's just he wasn't gelling.
he just wasn't gelling with that team at that particular moment in time. I think he'll definitely be back.
Moving to Sunderland.
Wow.
That's a joke.
Wow. Wow. No, they did really well. Burnley, not so great.
Not good away from home.
Now, interesting statistic about Burnley. Also, have not won an away game in the Premier League yet.
So, like Leicester.
But the only side in the history of the Premier League that has survived in the Premier League without winning an away game was Coventry City.
Oh, I definitely didn't know that.
There you go.
Which year?
You're testing me. The 95-6 off the top of my head.
Okay, so that was back when...
Right enough, I've got that wrong.
That was back when...
It was before the Robbie days, before Robbie
Yeah,
Keane.
but wasn't McAllister there, who eventually went to
Gary
Liverpool?
McAllister was there.
Yeah,
He spent a lot of
that
time
was Gary
at Coventry.
McAllister in his heyday.
Yeah, when he would have been about 28.
Yeah, okay. Interesting. I
there
remember
you
that
go.
Coventry side. They were a pretty nifty side.
Yeah.
Not strong away from home, as we saw.
No.
But my question do you know, does that stat go any further?
Was Huckabee there at that stage?
Yes, Darren
Huckabee.
Darren Huckabee, I was a big fan of
Nowadays
his.
would be a wide left
That's
player.
exactly what it would be.
Yeah.
He would actually suit the modern game
He
really
would
well.
love the modern game.
Yeah.
He'd be a proper wide forward. Anyway, we got way distracted.
I like the Darren.
Yeah.
Darren Huck.
The
Huck.
Yeah.
I like the Huck. Yeah, no, I can't see Burnley doing as well as that. I think those were different times. This is a league that will punish that sort of form.
But they're in such good home form. I mean,
They are, but it only takes a couple of slips at home,
Yeah.
which they won't be able to make up away.
Yeah, but I think it's still 4 wins and a draw at home. I think that's pretty good going.
Definitely 4 wins, and I think you're right. But that still means 9
Yeah, it's
that are either drawn or lost away.
Well, I mean, if you
Actually, sorry, that actually means it's 1 draw and 8 losses away from home.
that sounds about right.
That's really bad.
Yeah, if you, by the way, if you extend that to its logical conclusion, let's say they only drew, say, 3 away from home and then lost 16.
Ooh.
Ouch.
Oh.
Yeah, 20's enough to get you relegated.
Oh,
you know?
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's relegation.
Yeah. So, yeah, they have to start pulling it out away from home.
I agree. I like Burnley, and I really don't want them to go down.
Yeah,
I like
no,
how they
neither do I.
play. It's inventive, it's enterprising, it's
Yeah.
fun.
They're
I like the way they play more
so
than the way
hardworking.
Sunderland plays.
Yeah.
So I want Sunderland to survive, but not at the expense of Burnley.
Okay, fair enough.
Just because of how they play.
Yeah.
Good luck to them, and best of luck if I won't begrudge it if Sunderland do it, not like
totally.
you. But I certainly prefer the play of Burnley. Because even, for example, in Sunderland, that was a home victory, and they deserved their victory. They weren't as exciting to watch as Burnley.
No, Burnley, when they get
Play
going,
fun.
they're
Fun.
a good team. Yeah.
Fun to watch.
And you know what? To be honest, and this is going to sound really mean, with the players they've got, they probably shouldn't be that exciting, but they are, and
I
God
totally
bless them
agree.
for it.
Makes no sense.
It makes no sense. When you've got Vokes up front leading your line, he's a championship striker.
Absolutely. Well, apparently not.
Yeah, apparently not.
Apparently not.
But he's had so many runs in the Premier League, and everyone's just gone, oh,
Yeah.
whoa.
But apparently this is the season.
This
and this is
it.
the club.
Yeah, this is it. He's doing he's having a Vardy season
He
by
is.
his standards.
Yeah,
By
okay,
his
not exactly a
standards,
Vardy season, but
By
but
his
not bad.
standards. Yeah, all right. Well, let's move on to the next game. Let's have a look at West Ham versus Arsenal.
Well, they earned their name. They got hammered.
They did get hammered.
Like, really bad.
Yeah. They got blown away by the Arsenal.
Like, I mean, they should convert to Islam because they got Muhammad.
That's terrible.
That's pretty funny.
It was funny, but terrible.
That's good.
So 5-1 was the score to Arsenal.
And deserved.
Oh, are you kidding me? That could have been 8-0, and I would have said, oh, yeah, that
Arsenal
makes perfect sense.
carved them like a Christmas ham
Yeah.
or a Thanksgiving turkey,
Yeah.
if you're listening in the States.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Deserved.
Oh,
Brutal. I mean,
deserved.
Arsenal really... This was a week where City and Liverpool showed that they were
Vulnerable.
not necessarily contenders.
Yeah, vulnerable.
Not necessarily. Whereas Arsenal proved this week that,
that they
this
are
is not a
right
joke.
up there.
That
Yeah.
this is not a joke.
Well, they finally have 2 world-class players leading their line.
Yeah.
And they look it.
Giroud. That's a joke.
No,
But I like Giroud, so leave him
I
alone.
know. Yeah, I like Giroud
Yeah,
as well.
you don't like Giroud.
I do. I like Giroud. We've had this talk before. Why do you keep disremembering? Sanchez was unbelievable.
Oh my goodness.
Everything
he
he
dominated that game.
Yeah.
It's not even like the defense could really do much to stop him. He
Do you
just
remember last week we were talking about, I was comparing him to Thierry Henry.
Yeah, well,
That was an Henry special. I mean, if Henry had done that in his heyday, everyone would have said, "Boah, Arsenal for the title, everyone."
I think he's getting credit though. I don't feel as though I think the media for a change has gotten on the Arsenal train
Yeah, they have. I agree.
because usually they just don't care. But I think he's getting his credit now.
Yeah, no,
he
well-
has stepped up to
he's
a
so good.
new level. I mean, he was always really good.
Yeah, yeah.
He's getting up to that level that makes me think he's like. He reminds me a bit of Suarez at the
Yeah,
moment.
no,
It's freaking me
I was
out.
going to say the same kind
And
of
it's
thing.
freaking me out.
Yeah.
I don't want this to
His
happen.
movement and his passing.
But I
and-
find it really hard not to cheer for Arsenal.
Yeah,
I find
I know.
it really hard. I love how they play.
I know.
I love them.
I think
they're my
everyone
second
feels
team
that
in the
way.
league now.
Yeah, I know. I think everyone kind of feels that way about Arsenal.
Oh, but they're so good to watch.
I know.
If you don't like them, you are just a partisan. You have no.
Yeah.
You've no real.
You're a Tottenham
you're not
fan
a football.
or- yeah.
You're not. Yeah. Okay. I sort of get that.
Yeah.
I allow that. That's a cross-city rivalry.
fair
I'm not
enough.
going to begrudge Tottenham fans for that.
Yeah.
They're insanely good.
That
Beautiful.
The
Beautiful.
pass off the outside
Ah.
of Sanchez's boot.
Ah, it was Payet-esque.
It was. That was Payet at his most Payety.
Yeah. Payetic.
Payetic.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we should just do a compilation of
You know,
Payet's
for all our
goals
lack
full
of football
Payetic.
knowledge,
We
we're
do
making
all right
up for it with isms.
Yeah, with isms and puns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is going well. I like this.
Yeah, no,
Best
he,
podcast yet.
Yeah. Wow, big call. Let's let other people decide that. But yeah,
fine.
right in.
You know what? Forget other people.
Yeah. Oh, fair enough. Okay. Please. Okay. The words of Simon Says. Simon Says alone. I still love you, all of our listeners. No, he
West
was.
Ham 1-5 against a rampant Arsenal side.
Now,
They're in trouble,
How
aren't they?
much trouble are West Ham in?
relegation
trouble?
Relegation trouble.
Do they sack Slaven?
Yes.
Oh.
He's got until Christmas.
Oh.
He's got until Christmas.
So he's got 3 games,
His head's on the
basically.
block right now. I have his head on the block.
3
and I am
games.
sharpening that. 3
Yeah,
games.
the guillotine?
Yeah,
It's being wound up?
The guillotine. And I will even allow Payet to pull the string because he's being unfairly handled now. He should not be in that side. He's getting wasted.
Okay.
Go to Liverpool.
No.
Yeah, that won't happen.
No.
Yeah.
I could I
know.
That would my poor
Yeah, I
heart
know. You would
just
actually
break.
die. Let's face it, he ain't going to another Premier League club.
He's going to Real
He's going to Real Madrid.
or PSV
Real Madrid.
or PSV.
Let's get Real Madrid.
PSV.
Real Madrid.
Yeah, fair enough.
Real
PSV.
Madrid.
Anyway,
Good thing he's going to Real Madrid.
yeah, well,
Yeah, so anyway, Real Madrid. So, West Ham, relegation trouble, and I'm tipping Slaven Bilic to get the axe if they don't win these games.
okay. So you reckon 3 games?
I think they need to win all 3. I think if they're going to lose, if they lose to Liverpool next week,
Yep. Well, we'll get to that in our next podcast when we do
We
our
will.
preview
We
round.
will.
We will discuss that.
but Arsenal look fair income title contenders.
Yeah, I agree.
Chelsea are now the favourites.
Yeah.
But I am leaning a little bit towards saying that this is going to be a Chelsea, Arsenal, City title race
Ooh,
in
very
that
nice.
order.
Okay. Well, the thing that impresses me most about Arsenal now is not just an attack, because they've always been an amazing attacking
Agree.
team. Fair enough. That defense now
Yeah.
and the midfield,
It's tight.
they finally worked it out.
tight.
Xhaka is just fitting in there like a glove.
and I pay that. You called it. I didn't.
you.
Fine.
Thank you. And I mean, Mustafi's just...
I'm not upset about that.
Aren't you? Just
No,
a little-
not
a
at
little
all.
bit?
No. I'm magnanimous.
No, you're not.
I'm never going to bring it up.
You were giving me the biggest crazy look in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's all right, mate. That's why I'm the scout.
You were fired.
Yeah, but I've been re-employed now for Xhaka.
Right.
I'm back in business, baby.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
If I had 30 million to spend,
So he's
that's
growing
what
on
it's
me.
fucking
He's
Yeah.
growing on me like a wart, but he's growing on me.
Yeah, he's still there. He'll survive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's growing
You won't
on
be able
me.
to pummel him off.
There's almost nothing I can say because he's playing extremely well, and it's more so like the point I interrupted you on, which you're going to make,
Yeah.
is that he's literally now forming that midfield around him,
Yeah.
and he's pulling strings.
And
He reminds me of Fabregas when he was at his pomp at
yeah.
Arsenal.
His incisive movement of the ball, but also his ability to dictate tempo. He actually, you know who he reminds me of a lot? A really early Michael Ballack.
Oh, wow. Absolutely
Yeah,
spot on.
don't you reckon?
Absolutely spot on. I can see why they hired you back.
Doesn't he remind you a lot of a really young...
He does. He
the
does.
young Michael Ballack?
He does. Good shot on him.
Yeah.
Can pull the strings.
Yeah.
Powerful runner.
But also knows when to take the heat out of the game and
Yep.
just play a couple of
Can-
sideways
can stand
passes.
deeper if he needs
That's
to.
right. Can go forward. His forward movement with ball play is
I'm not a huge
excellent.
fan of El Neni. Not a huge
Okay.
fan of his.
Okay.
Not a huge fan. I feel like he's a little bit overeager. If I could use a word for him.
He's young and he's pretty new to the league.
Very
so I think
overeager.
He'll calm down.
So
into
of all the plays in that side that feel a little bit out of place,
Well,
I feel like El Neni
But
is
he's
out of
easily the
place.
weakest link, and you know if Cazorla was fit and raring to go,
Cazorla,
El Neni
straight
wouldn't
in.
be in that team.
Yeah.
So
Casanti is I rate him.
Yeah.
He's excellent.
Yeah.
So that's the only change I'd make to that
or
Arsenal side.
Coquelin, you know.
Yeah, fine. I just still think that neither of those are a Sandy Cazorla.
Oh no, God no.
He is.
But that's what I mean. I mean, in terms of a backup player,
Yeah,
if El Nini's your backup, that's a
I am
pretty good.
splitting hairs
you
right
are,
now because that Arsenal side is gorgeous.
Yeah. And the defence, I can't believe I'm saying this. Arsenal finally have worked out their defence. It's taken them a
Mustafi
decade.
was the missing link.
Yeah, he was. With
'Cause
Koscielny, yeah.
How much is he? Because Koscielny's always good.
No, he's always been very good.
But he's taken Koscielny to world-class levels. I
yeah.
mean, as good as any defender now in the league or the world.
You know what I love about it, though? It reminds me of the best partnerships in world football when it comes to centre-back pairings. One's kind of the elegant ball player who's a reader of the game,
Yep.
and the other one can actually get stuck in, can head, can crunch into a tackle, while
Like
they
a
can
Sami
still
Hyypiä.
pass while they can still pass and play well. You know, they've brought that ability to each other's game, and they clearly trust each other, and they cover each other so well that partnership, like the partnership between Ozil and Sanchez, has really started to form together. And if you get those two right with a midfield link, you're going to be hard to stop. So good on Arsenal, excellent side, could push a long way this season for the title.
I can only agree. And West Ham will be pushing for relegation.
Yeah,
If
at the way
Sunderland
they
get
go.
a run on, like no joke here.
And you know what? As Sunderland have want to do in years gone by.
Absolutely. I could see it happening.
Yeah,
I could
absolutely.
see it happening. And then you know they're going to lose half that side. I mean, this will be the most devastating thing ever.
Since they last got relegated, when they lost...
This is even worse.
Oh, no. Well, think of that season. So they lost Glenn Johnson, they lost Joe Cole, they lost Rio Ferdinand, or they might have just lost him anyway. They were down for a season, then they lost Michael Carrick and
Barry.
Jermaine Defoe.
Barry.
Gareth Barry was at Aston Villa.
Oh, sorry, he was Villa. Sorry. My bad.
They just lost Frank Lampard not long
Oh,
before that
yeah,
to
that's
Chelsea
right.
anyway.
Yeah, but that didn't matter. That's still all part of it.
Yeah, it was all part
You
of
look
that
at all of that as the
process
whammy.
Yeah.
Well, that's just brutal.
Yeah, that was...
No one can survive that.
That was... And think of most of those names I just mentioned. In fact, all of them are England internationals.
Yes. And not just that.
That's
Really good
two-thirds.
ones.
Yeah.
Big,
Like legendary
generationally
ones.
important.
Yeah, legendary England international.
Yeah.
2/3 of that team could have been the England
They
side.
were Southampton.
Yeah.
They were Southampton.
Yeah, who have now lost so many
Feeders.
players. But
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, all right, let's move on to the next game. I know
Can we
the one
not?
that
Can we
you,
skip it? So,
the one that you're
Everton
dying
United.
the one that you're dying to talk about first. Let's have a chat, Simon says.
Well, basically, Liverpool folded like origami.
But before we do that, we have to read the score.
No, we don't. We don't need to read this.
Bournemouth 4, Liverpool 3. Discuss.
And 10 minutes before that, it was Liverpool 3, Bournemouth 1.
1.
How did that happen?
What happened? I'm
Well,
asking
Liverpool-
you, what happened?
Liverpool did a Liverpool.
They did a Liverpool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if any other team has capitulated with such frightening consistency as Liverpool. When the chips are down, Liverpool is not the team you want to be.
Okay.
So, on the flip side, I don't
It's
know if you
got so
recall.
somber so
I don't know
quickly.
if you recall earlier in the season
Yeah.
where we were playing. Was it 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago? We played
Oh, okay.
Palace, and we weren't playing that well, and we scored that goal against Palace, and then we scored 2 goals, then they scored a goal.
Yep.
And then we scored another goal, then they scored another goal, then we scored another goal again. And I kept
Yeah.
saying that at no point did I feel we were going to lose that.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. On this podcast, you said that exact thing.
I said that exact thing. I felt the opposite in this match.
Okay.
I felt that the moment the moment they scored that goal, it was the manner of the goal. It was that mistake by Milner bringing down the player in the box.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
And Callum Wilson put it
Best
away.
left back in the league.
Best left back in the league. Still statistically, best back in the league.
Please.
But I want to pinpoint this issue as being a Liverpool keeping issue.
Well, he wasn't great. Karius was not great.
He was awful. He
Mind
was
you-
like Bravo.
Mind you, in a round where no keeper really
Okay.
plastered themselves in glory.
No one covered themselves in glory,
No.
did they?
It wasn't Fraser Foster bad, but it wasn't great.
But it was Bravo bad.
It was definitely Bravo bad. But this is where I will at least give him credit and also give Klopp some credit. Do you remember when David De Gea first joined United and he dropped a couple of clangers?
Yes.
And everyone said, "Oh, Fergie, buddy, he might be a good shot stopper and he might have decent distribution, but you can't stick with him. He's costing you points." And Ferguson went, "Nope, I'm going to back myself here. I've got probably the best young keeper in the world. I'm going to play him and play him and play him and play him." And now we've reaped what we've sowed there. He is the second best keeper in the world by
I'm
none.
not saying that we should get rid of Karius, though. I'm not,
Oh,
I'm
no,
not
no.
even suggesting that.
Would you
I
keep
just
him in
think,
the team?
Well, I'd probably give him maybe a rest so the heat comes off him so he can just have a rest.
Okay.
Not, but I'd make it very clear to him this is not
But
a
you wouldn't
performance
replace.
issue.
You wouldn't replace.
No, I would not. Well, because I think there's talent there. I just think that he is way off the finished product.
Okay, so a little bit of fantasy
Which is why,
football.
by the way, I said to you at the start of the season,
Yeah.
and I maintained even when we were on a good run,
Yeah.
Liverpool are not contenders for the title.
That is- I remember you saying.
I have remained unwavering on that.
Yep, you have.
I want to make
You
that
have.
very clear because I get emails and calls from my mates all the time. Oh, Liverpool going to win the title this year. Look how good they are. And I said, no, they don't have the side yet.
Okay.
They're still coming together. There's a lot they need to do. Our defense is still way off being ready. Matip, here's a statistic for you.
Yep.
We've only not had Matip
Yep.
in 2 matches this season.
Lost both.
Lost both.
Yeah.
And conceded 9 goals.
That is a problem. He's clearly your main defender. And you've got no depth there, particularly because somehow
in the
you've
other
alienated Sarko.
But in the other 9 matches, we've only conceded 9 in total. How does that make any sense?
It's interesting. I mean, he's clearly the calming influence. He's obviously your best defender by a country mile.
So I just think that
Also,
it's really interesting.
Can I point out as well, he plays on your left side of the centre half,
Yes.
doesn't he?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, so he basically also covers for Milner.
Yeah.
No, but you know what
No, he totally does.
Yeah,
Because
so-
Milner's 3/4 up the pitch the whole time.
So you know what I mean here. I mean,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you take him out, you're not just exposing one weak link, you're literally exposing an entire half of your field to attack.
Yeah, Lucas was a bad choice.
Well,
so here's my problem,
That's
though.
not his fault, though.
Yes, it is. Well, this is Klopp's fault. This is Klopp's fault.
I was going to say it's not Lucas's fault.
This is Klopp's fault.
Yeah, he didn't strengthen
We
there.
spent £4 million on a defender who has looked awesome in pre-season and good in the games he's played, Ragnar Klavan,
Yeah,
and he doesn't play him.
problematic. You've also got Sarko there.
Yeah, but Sacco, he's decided he's not playing him, therefore that's not happening. He's getting rid of Sacco.
Yeah.
He's making a point, and he's
Yeah.
made his point, and he's not bringing him back.
Yeah.
So at least I understand, even though he's probably our second best defender after Matip, he's better than Lovren.
Easily.
I also do feel that once you've made that call, you've made that call. But he bought Ragnar Klavan.
Yeah.
He bought him for this purpose.
Does he think he's still a little bit undercooked for the league?
Obviously he does. But I disagree with him because I've seen what he has done, and evidence suggests otherwise.
Pre-season's a lot different though from the Premier League,
So?
as you well know.
I would still play him in a game like this over
Okay.
Lucas,
No,
who's a midfielder.
Look, I agree with you in principle. I mean,
What do
I
you
would
mean
always
principle?
No, I would always play
Just
my
agree.
Okay,
Just
I
agree.
agree. I would always play
there we
my
go.
specialist defender over a player out of
Midfielder.
position. Yeah,
We had
It
2
wasn't-
midfielders in defence.
Yeah, it was Brian Clough, wasn't it, who once said, if my first choice centre back is injured, I go to my reserve, and if my reserve centre back's injured, I go to my under 18s. and I play a specialist in a specialist position. Modern day managers don't do that so much.
Because I would have chosen nearly anybody but Lucas for that position.
Okay.
Especially after the mistake he made against Leicester.
Centre half.
I meant anyone who's a defender, obviously.
How
But
long until Gomez is
genuinely, I would have... Okay, I'll tell you what. I would have played Emre Can there instead.
Yeah, that would have been a better call. How long until Gomez is back from injury?
Oh, he's still a while away.
Oh, okay.
Long enough that you wouldn't have risked him.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
He's
just
not
a
in,
question.
no.
I'm not au fait enough with your injury
He's
list.
not. And look, we've got another one, Thiago Lloris, who's actually pretty good. But again, really young and maybe undercooked for this. But Emre can play defense.
Emre can.
Well. Emre can. It's Emre Can, actually.
Oh, yeah.
So
right.
that's how you pronounce it. So Emre can.
It doesn't have the same ring to it. No.
But you know what? He can play that position, and he can play it he can play it well enough that I would have played him over Lucas, and I would have put Lucas in the defensive midfielder position.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I see exactly where you're coming from, but we are ignoring here that Bournemouth were pretty good.
Yes, they were. Fraser came on and changed the match. He injected life. His attitude was just phenomenal.
Yeah.
I loved it. And P.S. Bournemouth played in the right spirit of the match the whole way through.
Yeah.
Cook. P.S. They came out and they said deliberately they were targeting Karius.
Yeah.
They wanted to pepper him because they knew he would make a mistake, if not more than one. And they were right.
Yeah.
And that should resonate in Klopp's ears.
Yeah.
Because if they literally came to do that and it worked...
well.
There's something to be noted there because other teams are going to do it now.
Do you think, going back to Stephen Cook for a moment, because he's outside of the game against City where he gifted them that goal?
Yep. Everyone makes mistakes, though.
Everyone does. Do you think he's only 24? Do you think he's up for an England call-up?
Not yet.
Not yet?
But is he in the conversation for someone to keep
think
an
he
eye
should
on?
be. I think
for
he should
sure.
be. Yeah.
I say keep your eye on him. Absolutely. I want to see more of this. He bossed the game when he decided to get involved, didn't he?
He's good. He's a good player.
Man, he reminded me a bit of who's the defender now?
I don't know. Who are you going for?
I've lost the name.
You want me to come back to it? Give me a club at least.
We'll come back to it.
Okay,
but
we'll come back.
he had a lot of running in him. He injected himself in the game a bit like a Rio Ferdinand did in his pop.
You know what? I knew you were going to say Rio Ferdinand, but you know who he reminds me of far more. I say this with a caveat. He reminds me of a really young Marcel Desailly.
Oh, 100%.
A really young Marcel Desailly.
I know why you want to caveat it,
Yeah.
and I know why you want to say it at the same
Yeah.
time. I'm with you. 100%. He does. I'm not going to say he's that good.
Oh, God, no. No, that's
Desailly is
my caveat.
all-time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my caveat.
He's Hall of
there.
Fame.
He reminds me of him, but
No, I totally see it.
in stylistically, he reminds me of Marcel Desailly.
And I just loved what I loved about Bournemouth and why I like them as a club side, which P.S. I think I've said that every week.
Yeah.
I really like the Cherries.
I think everyone really likes them.
Yeah.
Eddie Howe's a great young English coach.
Oh man, how they came back at Liverpool. They showed a level of tenacity and panache that I don't think any other club who's played us this season has shown.
Yeah.
Burnley was different. Burnley got very
Burnley
fortunate.
Gets stuck in, and they get
But
stuck
they
in.
got very fortunate with
Yeah.
their 2 goals. Burnley weren't fortunate. Burnley took
You mean
the game.
Bournemouth
Sorry.
took it, yeah.
Yeah, Bournemouth took the game.
And you know who the
Took it.
main, you know who the key ingredient for that was? Even though he hasn't
it was
scored.
Fraser though. It was
Fraser was amazing. Fraser was amazing, but who was pulling those strings? Wilshere.
Yes.
Damn, he was good.
Yes.
His transitional play is as good as I've seen in the last 5 years from him.
Okay, so I don't know if you noticed, what he stopped doing was trying to push forward to get the goals.
That's right. All he did is become a transitional player, which is exactly
much
what
better
he
for
should
him.
be. He should never be a number 10.
I'm with you 100%.
Yeah. He should have always been played deeper at Arsenal, but for some reason...
And he got shown up.
Yeah,
That's the
Wenger
problem.
really wanted to turn him into a 10, and
And I get
don't
it.
know.
I get
He's
why.
definitely skillful enough, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, too many
But he's better-
injuries.
yeah, but he's better deep.
Yeah, he's better deep. Absolutely. He just doesn't quite have... He can hit a shot like everybody
You know
else.
who
He
he
can.
could become? You know who he actually could become in terms of how he will play? Not in the same style, but how he could play. He could become a ball-carrying midfielder in the way that Dembele is a ball-carrying midfielder for Tottenham.
Yeah, why not?
You know, a passer who can occasionally carry the ball out and start splitting defence
And where
from
it changes, though, so Dembele's got a bit more strength,
way more strength.
but Wilshere's
Like I
got
said, different
more
style.
skill.
Yeah, different style,
The same outcome.
similar roles, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you.
I'm impressed.
Bournemouth 4-3, good for their victory. I
Yeah.
can only congratulate them. I probably would have been angry if it was any other club. Maybe not if it was Arsenal, because I still would have been really impressed.
Yeah.
But I think that Liverpool. I think this game is the game that we got away. That it almost cancelled out the Arsenal game. Because I thought the Arsenal game unnecessarily lifted expectations. We were fortunate to win that match. We could have lost it. We could have drawn it. Anything could have happened.
Ran into them at the right time.
Right, hit them at the right time. So I feel like that was 3 points that were stolen.
And this is the 3 points that have been
that we just gave back
from you. Yeah. The old it all levels out in the end.
Well, kind of. Like, I'm not trying to be introspective just to dull expectations because I felt this way since before the season started.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, that's true.
I genuinely feel that this match proves that Liverpool are not ready. A title winning, I think the commentator said it and said it well, that this is the sort of match that proves Liverpool are not really contenders. Because contenders don't do this.
Yeah,
contenders don't lose from 3-1.
Yeah, you're right. Contenders don't do that. So let's move from one team that shouldn't have been a contender to one team that we picked. We're both going to win the title.
So I just championed how much I supposedly called what Liverpool is doing. Well, I actually don't know anything about United. And P.S., what did I tell you about my tip?
Well, you said that you were doing it in the hope that would come up.
No, but do you recall what I said? Guys, do yourself a favor. Listen to the podcast. I said that I wanted to tip United, but I had to do the opposite of what my gut told me because so far every time I've tipped United, I've been wrong.
And this is your big neutral game too, because it's United Everton. It's
so I went for the result that suited me the most, which was a 1-1 draw.
And you got it.
And I literally got a 1-1 draw.
Yeah.
So, honestly, I don't know what to say because I kind of feel like I should leave this to you. I want to know because I know you're seething and I understand why you should be. I got to say, I don't think Everton should be happy with that either.
No.
And losing Yannick Bolasie now for the season is really bad for them. I now have to re-rate how I see Everton's season going from here.
You can see them as a lazy 12th now.
I want to say no because your damn 12th place is so... But you know what? You actually could be right. They could be.
Yeah, anywhere in that kind of 13th to 9th spectrum is going to be about where they land, I think, without Bolasie.
I think they're in trouble.
Yeah,
so anyway,
that's
I want to kind of hear what you have to say because Mourinho's comments are really starting to get under my skin.
They're killing me.
He's really starting to annoy me.
The hell out of me,
He's really annoying me. So you're a United fan. Please talk to me. What the hell?
Okay.
Start from the beginning too, by the way. Start from the starting lineup as well. I want to...
Okay. This is what I'll say about the starting lineup. It was actually what I was going to say. I really liked the starting lineup.
So did I.
I looked at it and I went, finally, you know what? He's worked it out. It took us until December. Until freaking December. But Mourinho went, you know what I should do? Play Martial, play Mkhitaryan, play Ibra. No Rooney. Sure, he was suspended, but great. Pogba, Carrick, Herrera. That's a team, baby. Like, that is a good-looking starting lineup right there.
And we said that on record.
Yeah. I've been saying that forever.
We've said that on record.
Yeah. And you know what? It wasn't great. I won't lie. It was not great.
Ibra got his goal.
Ibra did get his goal, and it was a very nice goal.
It was as bad as Ibra a goal as he could have scored.
Yeah, it was classic Ibra, yeah. I thought Mkhitaryan was good. Pogba, Mika, and Ibra occasionally combine in really nice patches. But I read an amazing way of looking at this from a great article on a website called Football 365. I highly recommend that you all go to it.
Love it.
It's a great website. But they said, look, United are starting to slowly play well in little patches, whereas their rivals are playing well for entire matches. Patches, not matches, is what United is at the moment.
Really well put.
Yeah.
Who said that?
No, I made that part up, but the rest was all...
You know, that was awful. Worst thing I've ever heard.
Patches, not matches, is all me, baby.
Well, unfortunately, you're 100% right.
Yeah, no, and it's scaring me. It's really bad. And I mean, again, Mourinho's substitution, I don't think... He's playing like we would if he was still in charge of Chelsea circa 2008. You know, where he had the most powerful midfield in the league, and he gets 1-0 up, and he just shuts up shop.
It's a different league.
And this United doesn't have a powerful midfield.
No. They've got Pogba. That's not enough.
Yeah, well, of course
he's one man.
Yeah, then they've got, you know what? They've got Carrick, who's a great screener, but he's getting old. They've got
Herrera.
They've got Schneiderlin, who he doesn't want to play.
So why?
I've got no
Can you
idea.
explain it to me, please?
No, I have no idea, because Schneiderlin would be one of the first names on my team sheet.
When
At
I saw
least on
that
the
purchase
bench.
from Southampton, I was so envious.
Oh, I
I
know.
wanted him.
Yeah, everyone should want him. He's an amazing midfielder. His stats are unbelievable. His passing stats, his tackling stats, his ability to run himself off the park. He's actually the quintessential Mourinho midfielder. No idea why he doesn't get a game. Annoys the hell out of me. Regardless of that.
Because imagine Schneiderlin, Herrera,
And
and
Pogba,
Pogba.
please. We would have enough legs to destroy most teams in the league.
Yeah. Well,
and
he
it
could,
would, and
he
it
could
would
play
free-
like Chelsea 08.
Yeah, and it would free Pogba up to actually drift left and let Martial cut inside and let them do some intricate little circle play. Let Mika move into the inside, into the hole, and play like a number 10.
Let him play free.
Yeah,
Because he needs to play
exactly.
free.
He needs to play free. So I'm very disappointed. We only had 2 shots on goal, even though we dominated possession.
One went in, though.
One of them did go in, thankfully, which is rare
And
for us at
just.
the moment. Yeah.
Just.
Interesting stat as well. Louis van Gaal's game last season, also a 1-1 draw at Goodison. He also had 2 shots on target and came out after the game and said, "I'm very disappointed with the result." Whereas what did Mourinho say?
Oh, my goodness.
What did Mourinho say? We were unlucky. No comment. Unlucky. He's really grinding my gears.
He's grated me to within an inch of my life.
He's grinding me. And you know what? I desperately want to like him.
I know, so do
I
I
desperately want to like him.
just don't know what's happened.
He's lost his mojo completely. It's like Chelsea completely
okay.
knocked the stuffing out of him.
Can you genuinely lose talent?
I think in this particular instance, clearly you can. I mean,
So you're saying now genuinely that his managerial ability has diminished?
Well-
or is he just in bad form and he's making bad decisions?
possibly. I mean, I'd like to think it's bad form, but if you have a look at the last 18 months of his management, here's the problem. What was his strength? Like forging a winning mentality amongst a core group of players
Yep.
and making them play better than the sum of their parts.
Yes.
He completely lost that at Chelsea.
Yep.
He completely lost it.
He lost the
And
dressing room.
He lost the dressing room. And the only reason he was able to sign the players he did at United is off reputation. Mm-hmm. And what's happened? He's then admonished some players, some very good players like Luke Shaw, like Chris Smalling. And it seems to me that, again, he's kind of lost the dressing room.
Because
they
they don't believe in him in that way.
At least a little bit. I'm not saying he's completely lost them like he did at Chelsea, but I'm saying there's a reason why in the last
But
10
they're
minutes...
doing a Chelsea.
They are.
He's literally just taken United and doing exactly what's happened. Not exactly. Chelsea was worse.
Yeah.
But it's the same sort of thing.
Yeah, it's scary. And I mean, the point about luck, one of the reasons it really grates me, is they have dropped 7 points in the last 10 minutes of matches this season.
Oh, wow. That is a lot.
That is not luck. That is poor management. And that used to be Mourinho's great strength, was tactical substitutions. If you're losing 7 points in the last 10
I made a
minutes
reference to
of
it earlier in the
matches,
potty.
Yeah, exactly. He used to be able to sub someone off in the 30th minute, or he could see a game in the 65th minute getting away from him. He'd make a tactical substitution to exploit a weakness, get his goal, then sub another player off and redo
You
his
remember
shape.
those tactical battles between him and Benitez?
Oh,
and they were brilliant
amazing,
to watch.
unbelievable.
They were some of the best things you could see in a in any Premier League game.
And it's like he's been lost behind by the times of high press, high movement. Like he doesn't have that style. He was always pragmatic. He liked to sit back. His best teams were still very attacking, don't get me wrong, but they were always built off pragmatism. He hasn't worked out yet how to get this United team pragmatic enough. Rojo definitely should have gone off. That tackle was appalling.
Yep.
As I spoke about last week, he has one of the worst in-game decision makings of any player I've ever seen play for Manchester United.
He's just crap.
He's so bad.
He's just... Can I use the S word on air?
He is shit.
He is shit.
He doesn't deserve to be
Proper
anywhere.
shit.
Yeah, he doesn't deserve to be anywhere near that first team.
Or as Conor McGregor would say, he's
That one I'm going to have to beep twice.
Why?
But, well, you know.
It's F-O-O.
Yeah,
That's how
but-
it's spelled.
Hey, we're on Apple iTunes now. We have to be, kid friendly.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I wasn't impressed to wrap it up. I'm just not impressed. And
But I think you should be more than just not impressed. I think you should be genuinely worried, because for me,
You know what?
The
I'm
question
past worried.
the question I'm starting to raise now is, Does he know how to arrest the slide? Does he know how to turn this around for next season? Because I got to be honest with you, this season's done.
And this, you know what? This is why I'm past worried now. I can't be worried about this season. This season's gone.
This is done.
We won't make Champions League.
It is done.
Over.
Yeah, it's
the
done.
only way we make Champions League is if we win Europa.
And that's not going to happen.
Probably not.
It's not going to happen.
Probably not.
That's a pipe dream.
Yeah, probably. I'm agreeing.
Because this is not a good European side. I can't see you guys going on an extended run there.
It's got enough players.
When's the last
to
time
do
you even
it?
had a good run in Europe?
Oh,
seriously, genuinely.
Oh, well, we were finalists in 2010, so 6 years back.
That's 6. This is a different side.
I know.
This side I can't see it. Whereas Liverpool somehow always do well in these when they need it in European runs.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Somehow randomly. This United side hasn't got it. You guys are stuffed this season.
Yeah,
stuffed.
no, I agree. And that's why, as I said, I'm past worry now. All I need to look at for the rest of this, I've become a Liverpool fan. All I need to see now is the coach just improve by the end of the season, so I have enough faith for him to give him enough of a budget.
Spank City next time you play them.
Yeah.
Spank Liverpool. Spank Arsenal. Chelsea. Someone.
Yeah, just give someone a proper punishing.
Yeah, a proper 5-1 or something where it just completely smacks everybody's alignment off.
And everyone goes, whoa, United are back a bit. Yeah.
And then the fear factor comes. Because right now, nobody is scared of United.
No, there's no fear at all.
Nobody's scared of United.
No, and it's not a team that I would be scared of either. No. There's players in there that I definitely fear. Yeah. But as a team, it's working less than the sum of its parts.
Yeah. You just don't look fearsome at all.
All patches, no matches.
So, Everton, they're in some trouble. They're even worse off than United now. They're in 8th and falling. They've got someone like Stoke and Bournemouth right on their tail, and Watford actually.
Yeah.
And Southampton, who
Yeah.
PS could easily put a run together.
All 4 of those teams could easily go above them. And they've lost one of their key players of the season.
Of all of them, I would say Southampton has the most in the petrol tank, I'd say.
Yeah, possibly. I don't know. Stoke, I think, could really put a run on.
Could, yeah. Yep, fair enough.
Everton are in some trouble there. I mean, Lukaku looks disinterested at the moment for some reason, and I'm not quite sure why.
Yeah, he really... Because he went on that run, and then suddenly it's like, not into it anymore?
When that team plays well, he obviously plays well because he's got service, but at the moment he looks very starved. And without Balassi, he's one of their key players.
He needs Balassi.
Yeah, I mean, Morales is very good out there, wide left, but...
And we mentioned the complete capitulation of Barkley.
Yeah. Oh, he's always been hot and cold, but at the moment he's freezing.
Positively sub-zero.
Yeah, he is sub-zero temperature. Yeah, he's just not looking good.
Yeah, not on fire.
If I was an Everton fan, the one thing I would say is at least the transfer window's coming up in January, and you
can
the new
replace
owners,
Balassi,
and the new owners have money to burn.
Yeah.
And I mean, they went for Sissoko and lost out on him, so you know that they're happy to spunk 34 million on a player.
Yeah.
You know, like that. So they're going to have budget there to do a bit of damage in January if they can find the right players.
Well, they need another backup for Baines because Oviedo is just...
I mean, well, if you look at their squad...
He is shite. Totally shite.
Another beep.
Totally. I said totally.
Oh, fair enough. So they definitely need at least another reserve centre-half, but really a replacement for the now aging Jagielka. They need a backup left-back who's young and can eventually replace Baines, who's not young anymore. They need at least one more midfielder who can create. They need another winger, and they probably need a backup for Lukaku. That's already 5 players there, and I haven't even got to the crux of actually improving the squad.
That's a lot of money they're going to have to spank out.
So, well, if they do, I mean...
I don't know who's available, who's got the Premier League experience, who they could get.
I'm thinking, okay, if I was them, I'd go... Oh, damn, I've forgotten the name of Concetrao, the Portuguese left-back.
Oh, Coentrao, yeah.
Coentrao
from Madrid.
Yep, he never plays for them anymore.
What is he at Monaco now?
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
I'd go for him. I mean, as a backup if you could get him on loan.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
He's great.
At centre-half, I would put in a cheeky bid for Stephen Cook at Bournemouth and see if I could pry him away. 24-year-old Englishman.
Yeah, why not?
Go for it. Give them 15 million. Tempt them into it.
Now, will they?
I doubt it, but you could try and tempt them into it.
Bournemouth need it. They need him.
Yeah, I know, but 15 million.
Okay, fine.
You know, like, I'm just throwing out names.
I'd buy some Chelsea rejects because they're all generally good players.
Yeah, they all are. I mean, but who in that squad would you look at?
Pretty much everybody who isn't starting.
Well, they've got, 34 players out on loan, so...
I don't know. I'd have a good look at that squad. I'd want to pillage some of those.
Yeah.
Because I think you'd get some good squad players there.
Yeah, you would. But yeah, I mean, yeah, they've got some business to do in January, and I think then they should be okay. Anyway, let's move on to the last game of the round. It was Middlesbrough versus Hull. It was 1-0 to Middlesbrough, who played extremely well. I don't think Hull had a shot on target until the 90th minute, when they could have actually stolen a point.
Yep.
But Middlesbrough were highly deserving of that win at the Riverside.
I like Middlesbrough. Still do.
Yeah.
They look good. I mean,
Negredo, Gaston Ramirez, both excellent players.
Traore,
he's quick.
he's so quick.
So quick.
So quick. Lightning.
Victor Valdez, don't like him, great save.
Yeah, great save.
Great save.
Yeah. He's only a one-season thing for them.
Yeah, I imagine
until they can, stay in the Premier League and then excite somebody with that prospect.
Yeah.
And bring someone in.
Yeah, and they've always got money to burn. Their chairman's always been really good like that.
Yeah.
I like them. I'm pretty sure they'll stay up at this stage. They still need a little bit of strengthening to do. I thought Darun actually didn't play a great game, if I'm being honest. But everyone has an off day. I get it. Yeah, no, thoroughly deserved. Hull are in a lot of trouble.
I think that was one of the easy ones for me to pick. I think Hull away from home. I think Hull will steal some results when they're at home at the KCOM.
Yeah.
But I think that, a game here at the Riverside where I think Middlesbrough are pretty strong.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be tipping against them.
No, I agree.
It's fairly easy.
That's why I called the result exactly 1-0.
Enjoy your tipping loss.
And I haven't actually. I've not enjoyed it at all. Good. But I will try my best to pip you in the next podcast when we will actually go through the previews of the next round. I hope that you've enjoyed this one. You can always get in contact with us. Just go to Studs Up on our Facebook page. Just type it in, leave us comments. You can leave messages about how Simon says hates you all as listeners and doesn't care if you listen or not. That'd be great. Or anything else that you'd like to comment about. Hopefully we can put up some, what was our payette thing again? Well, you eat a lolly. Well, it wasn't pay it forward.
It's not bad.
That's not bad.
It is now.
Okay. I'm going to have to review the tape and see what our great thing was for that for our Facebook page. Anyway, you can also find us on our website. It's studsup-football.com. And you can now get us on iTunes. It's Studs Up Podcast. Just type it in. We come straight up. So now you can get us